Good morning, everyone. So a lot of you who are friends with me on Facebook saw that yesterday I posted about going through a labyrinth and how I kind of had a bit of an aha moment. So wanted to share that today. There's a labyrinth in downtown Cincinnati, right near the banks on the Ohio River. And a couple of friends and I went and we walked it, and I mean, it's not very big, it's pretty small. It's meant to be a walking meditation space, so you can go in there with anything maybe you're frustrated about, or if there's things you're letting go, maybe someone passed away and you're having some time struggling with it. It's just kind of a good place to go and walk and let all that worry and frustration kind of go away and see how you should proceed. How do you go forward? And so with me, I didn't really have anything I wanted to focus on going into it. I kind of was just being open-minded and like, let's do this, let's see what comes. And so I started walking it, and first thing that popped into my head was CHD, of course, because it's such a big part of my life. And on Friday, the evening before, I had gone to a surviving CHD meeting. There's 3 of us adult patients that go to it. They're at the Children's Hospital, and one thing we're working on is how do we get more adult patients to come to both the meetings and to the congenital heart walk, which we're having in October, because the majority of it is a lot of younger children with CHD and their parents and family and friends, and that's great. All avocation is wonderful and highly appreciated. But as an adult patient, sometimes, you want to see more adults. It helps, build that sense of community and a sense of you're not alone. And so that's what we were trying to really figure out. And as I was walking this, I kept thinking, what's my part in it? How can I contribute? And so I think, and I was also just kind of thinking about how I'm frustrated with how angry I can be with CHD sometimes, because it can really affect your life sometimes in the most not positive ways, and I was frustrated by my anger at it, and so I was like, I need to get rid of that. And as I was walking the labyrinth, I kept thinking, maybe it's not so much that I need to get rid of this anger. Maybe I need to embrace it. Maybe there's something in it that I can use that to be more of a driving positive force. And I know anger you typically don't associate with positive things, but sometimes it can be a motivator. As long as it's done in a helpful, healthy way. And so I kept thinking back to our meeting on Friday, how there was a moment where all 3 of us were kind of talking about our frustrations with a couple of things, especially working. Last year I had a really hard time and had to stop working, and then this year I've gone back. It's part-time work, but I'm working, and sometimes I get so tired and I'm just like, oh, what's the point? And I know that's sad to say. Sometimes I'm just like, what's the point of me working my butt off trying to save all this money for what? If I don't even make it to 40 or something, who knows? I mean, who knows how long I'll live, but that's where our mind is. And so when the other 2 people in the group were talking about it and reflecting that same thing, it was oddly really awesome to know you're not alone, because I've never told that to anyone. I figured people would just think I'm suicidal or lazy or who knows what. So to hear them say it, it was really nice. And I don't know, I kind of started thinking back on that and how maybe sharing my frustrations and angers with CHD can be really helpful, because then it can allow other adults or teens or kids or whatever to connect with that. I know I always try to do very positive videos and try to promote a positive message and positive outlook, because I think a good attitude is very important and very helpful in, such a difficult health situation. And I'm definitely trying to maintain that, but I also think sometimes it's unrealistic. Or maybe not unrealistic, it's just not terribly honest. So I think if we were to talk more about our frustrations and, maybe, I had a terrible doctor's visit and I want to let that out, I think it's important to do that because people can connect with that. People, other CHD patients, you've been through that, you've been there, and I think maybe it's become too taboo to talk about our frustrations. We're all meant to just be grateful we're alive and all that, and I definitely am, but saying how grateful I am to be alive doesn't help me connect with another CHD patient. Telling them about a terrible stress test or exercise test, they can connect with that. And so I think through the labyrinth, I was walking through it, and there's the curves in it as you're weaving through, and there was 3 lines in each of them, and kept thinking how symbolic that was, because there's 3 of us in the surviving CHD group, and so I was like, maybe we just need to really work as a team, and how can we work together to really reach out to people. And I kept thinking my part of it could be, I don't know, more honest opinion of how CHD can be, and more patient reach out. And so I think maybe these videos are part of my part. And so I really hope this allows other adult patients or teens to feel a sense of connection. I know growing up I didn't really talk a whole lot about my frustrations with my health. I tended to focus on the medical, like, this is what I have to do, these are my meds, let's follow this plan. I didn't really talk about the emotional aspects or frustrations with anything, or how it affected my social life. And that probably wasn't super healthy. And so I'm learning, don't push it in, maybe just let it out. And instead of trying to get rid of my anger and frustration, why not embrace it? Why not let it, allow me to connect with others? And so that is what I'm trying to present to everyone. And I kind of hope that makes a little bit of sense. And I'm not trying to put it out there that everything we should talk about should be our complaints or frustrations, because then that can drain people. You don't want to bring people down. But I also want to put out the idea of, let's just be honest. If you're having a bad day, don't feel like you have to be all rosy-posy and act like everything's perfect. I know I'm terribly guilty of that. I want to just tell everyone I'm fine and I'm good to go and deal with it in my own time. But people can't connect with you in that way. If you're honest, you're open about how you're really feeling, you're going to build genuine relationships that way. And really, I think when we're able to do that, and there's more of us connecting and growing, we build a sense of community. And through that sense of community, I think we as an adult patients can advocate a lot more, so that those teens and kids see, oh wow, look, there's all these adult patients and they're thriving and they're, trying to be strong and push through. So maybe it'll give them hope. And I think that is very, very important, because I know when I was growing up, I never met anyone with CHD. I didn't even see any adults with CHD. So I didn't know anything about it, didn't know the outlook or anything. And I still don't really know the outlook now, but there are more of us adult patients. And so I think we just need to learn to stick together and work together to really advocate and promote what CHD is all about, so that people know about it, and then they know the realistic aspects of it, that you're gonna have bad days, and that's okay to not feel bad about it. Don't feel like you have to hide it. So yeah, that's where I'm at today. The Labyrinth was awesome. I highly recommend anyone in the Cincinnati area going down there. It's in the Smale Park, Smale Park, right there on the banks. Gorgeous area. The Labyrinth was very helpful for me, and I hope it can be for you too. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.